YouTubers, you know what? I want to do a live. I want to do a live because I want to chit chat and I want to have like this more personal dialogue with you guys. But I don't know how to do a live. Every time I do one, I feel like I'm all over the place and but I'm gonna get help. So, kisses to all of you. Thank you so much for your love and your support. I missed you. I wasn't going to do a video today, but I was just like, I want to hang out with you guys. And I don't know if YouTube is down or if they having errors over there, but I have 800 views on my video from a couple of days ago. And usually only get like 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 or 7. And some in the past, I'm in the thousands, but maybe it takes people a while to catch up on my videos just because they are long. But that one was long, and I'm so grateful for all of the views and likes and comments, and you guys really brought on the comments. They were good. I hope I get to reference some of them today because they were page turner. One comment that's sticking in my head is that Megan is royalty. I would beg to differ. I think you would have to define that for me because I can't imagine her actually being royal because she doesn't, she never crossed over into being a royal. And she wasn't even in there long enough for the ink on the Duke and Duchess of Sussex to even be sealed. For her to even run over here talking about the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. It's as if she stole it. She said, give me these titles, give me Harry, and let's go, because I'm going to need him to use y'all from over here. And trash you at every moment because listen, and it ain't even trashing for her. It's her telling her truth. It's her telling her story, her side, and how the bad royals are messing with her all at the same time. They ain't said nothing. Nothing. Oh, but the media wants us to think that Charles said this and Charles is saying this, and no, honey. The only people that's talking is the Montecito duo. And before you can even get the message out that they wasn't invited or invited, all of that out, she was already ready to put out a statement how they wasn't even invited. And I'm thinking, like, why is she responding to gossip? Or not even gossip. Why is if she's saying it wasn't true? Why are you responding to something that you already know that doesn't even, if you wasn't invited, why do we need to know that you wasn't invited? So we can say, shame on the royals. That ain't how we do it over here. I'm sorry. The verdict is already out. You're the pain in the ass. Yes, because you're the only one talking. And I am a little disappointed in the mainstream media over here in America not shedding light on Megan's BS because she did not go to court. She sent her puppy dogs over there to ruff for her. She's trying to get that case thrown out with Samantha, her sister. No, go and face it. You're this woman of integrity. You're not running from a fight, are you? Yes, you are. You said it, you did it, and if you didn't do it, and if it's not true, and if you didn't do all this to your sister, then go and prove it in court and sit it down. No, she's hoping that it gets thrown out. Judge, you will be judged. If you throw this out, and that's not a threat or nothing like that, but it's just true. Because how long is Megan going to continue to talk about people, her and Harry, in nasty, in a derogatory way, where they lose their job, use their credibility, lose their friends and stuff, and all of that because of Megan and Harry's doing. Jerry, the guy that told her to walk naked in the street from the Game of Thrones. And he was appalled. He apologized to her and she dissed him. She's not about forgiveness. I forgot what I was saying. I went too deep. But I was trying to make examples of what I was saying. My point is, it's her. Look, I don't know what I was saying. It's her. Oh, I hate that. Sometimes I do. Unfortunately, I do. I go too deep, guys, or too far. And too far into my example. I'm like, what the hell? No, okay, let's move on. Let's talk about something else. Let me pause it and regroup. I know we were talking about, is she a real royal? Now, she's not real bloody royal, but her kids are. That's the only thing that's royal. But I just don't understand how a year and 15 minutes or a year or 15 minutes of getting married, getting pregnant, and running back to the United States make you a royalty. And then on top of that, I'm going to trash the royalty that I do have. How are we supposed to take Meghan seriously when she's trashing what would make her popular? In other words, she went to this last event at this naval office looking crazy with UK symbols. It's crazy. How dare you wear this? As if you care, as if you love. You can't have it both ways. You can't hate them and love them at the same time, Meghan. You got to choose. You've chosen. And so it's that's why people are confused. So she gets there and she's wearing all this stuff and she's acting like Catherine and William. Not really, because they're the fake ones and it's really a bad scene. It's really a disgusting scene watching her push him around, put him in the back and put him on the side and tell him when to shut up and when to talk. She told him to shut up when he was talking to that gentleman that was just about to introduce them. They walked out on the stage, okay? Meghan and Harry, let's talk about that. I didn't switch the story like I do. They walked out on the stage. Harry is talking to the gentleman that is about to speak, okay? Watch the last videos that I posted, and you'll see it. The gentleman is about to talk. So he's talking to Harry. They're having a conversation. Here, Meghan puts her arm on her husband and coaches him to stop talking to this man, because Harry turns all the way around and looks at Meghan like, what? Like, I'm talking. And she kind of I did it in slow motion because it's a sight to see. I'm telling you, to watch the control. And he looks at her and she looks at him and she kind of does like a, like, come on, kind of a thing. Like he's talking too much. No, it ain't about her. It ain't about me. When she got up there, now I'm switching it again. She was standing up there. She looked very uncomfortable. There was a gap between her and the lady with the scissors. It was just like weird, because why aren't you standing next to the lady that's about to cut? Just stand next to her. Because your husband, here's the deal. Your husband comes out, he's talking to the gentleman. So quite naturally, when he gets through talking to him, he's going to stand right next to the gentleman. No. When he gets through talking to the gentleman, he has to walk behind his wife or behind her and stand behind her while she's in front. When Meghan should have just went on down there and stood next to the lady that had the scissors, because at the end, after he'd introduced them or whatever, and the lady was finna cut the scissors, Meghan would have been closer to the scissors and closer to the lady. And it would have been more attention, we'll see you more. It's just weird to me that she pushes him around and she has to be in the front and he has to be in the back. And it's a statement that she's making. She's trying to say that, I don't know, she's in control. It's pathetic. And there's no need for it because we see you. You cannot miss her. How could you not miss her? She's going to make sure we see you, that you're in the front. She act like... Now, I heard that they gave a donation, or WME gave it. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I don't know. But I heard that they were given money to do it. We're going to talk. Okay. I'm moving on from that. Let me know. Sometimes I don't talk about those moments because I feel like I'm getting too deep or too, into whatever. But watching it is unbelievable because it happens all the time. There was a Kevin Costner moment. She's in the front. That's not royal protocol. And even if it's not, it just looks weird even if it's not. If you're going to play like you're a royal, then do it for real. But don't make an ass out of your husband. Sorry, I'll stop cussing. Making a fool out of your husband because you're pushing him and telling him to shut up and get in line. That's what she said. Shut up, get over here, and get in line. And he looks miserable. He can't even fake it. Hold on, guys. No, she's not a royal. I'm sorry. She doesn't portray traits. She doesn't have what it takes to be that. I think that just because the namesake alone cannot make you a royal, there's got to be stipulations on that because you can get kicked out. And even though you are from the bloodline or whatever, Harry, you are under others and your HRHs is in a vault. But they'll never come back out because you'll never work again as a royal. So when are you going to be able to use it? When William becomes king? Why is she messing with this powerful person? Let me ask Obi Scooby because he seems to think that William wants to be powerful. He is. He is. That's a fact. He's already is that. So he can't be something that he already ain't. He ain't. If that makes sense, Obi Scooby. It's you and your team that want to be powerful. It's Harry, but he's losing the battle. And Meghan, look at her. I'm the wife of a prince. No, you're a wife of a traitor. The trimp and the traitor. What is it? See you, Amy girl. Okay. Now, guys, I really just wanted to come out here and hang out with you. I really missed you guys. And I'm going to get to the video. And then we'll go from there. So hopefully you enjoy this one. I know it's uncut, but sometimes I pause it so I can get my stuff together. I've been listening to Sue Smith. Heard she's really good. She was talking about Bozy, and how he's being sued and how other people are suing him as well. He says some derogatory things about some people on the Meghan show, Netflix. Seems like some people are getting in trouble behind that little nit flick that she did. If she had to name me, I would have sued her. Oh yeah, I'm coming for her. She said, what about me? Oh yeah, they're talking about the court case. We come into that. That's what we're going to talk about. It's interesting, it's like, okay, Meghan has her situation, her dramas, and Harry has his too. They have separate dramas too. Like Harry has all these court cases that Meghan has attached him to. She's still a part of the drama. She always will be, because he wouldn't be doing none of this stuff if it hadn't been for her. Harry would be in the UK. He would have been at the coronation just like he was at his brother's wedding and stood beside him, just like William stood beside him. But the difference is that your brother didn't betray you, Harry, but he wants to shut us up. He wants to censor us. He wants us to this court stuff that he's doing. And here's the thing, if you don't want to be famous, sit down and shut up. Listen, don't do stupid stuff. Elton John and all them, they were tapping. Now that is wrong. But however it is, whatever they said happened was going to come out and came out. I think Hugh Jackman is pissed off because he was with them prostitutes. I like him. I still do. But oh my God. I remember that. I was like, oh, okay. He in some trouble. Let's move on, guys. I don't even know my point anymore. Listen, I'm just glad to be hanging out with you. I do want to do this deep dive video, and it's a little bit about what I've been talking about. So give me a moment. You know, her life is a page turner. This has to be like put somewhere and be like, what? Because when I was talking to my sister, she was like, what? And I'm like, stop acting like I didn't tell you this last week. And she said, well, you didn't put it that way. Oh God. So here we go. The reason why I said that is because everybody's been making a joke out of these two. They're jokes. And they want to be taken seriously. And that's what that whole, all this charity stuff is. We're serious. We're doing good while you guys are talking about us. No, you're being idiots. You're pretending to be good people when you're not. Here it is. Let's trash them first, and then let's go do charity, and then maybe people will start liking us after we trashed them and say that they were racist. This is what killed me. I said, Harry, this is when I knew he was a traitor. I said, how dare you let this woman go on TV and talk about your family? First, I would have said, listen, it's divorce time, okay? If you can't get along with them, you can't get along with me. He chose the wrong side. And if there's any indication that he chose the wrong side, it was the look he had at that event just a few days ago, looking at the back of Megan's head. I saw it on Sue's channel. She put it on slow motion. And Harry's just staring at her, the back of her head, while she in the front. It was just, he's in a domestic violence. He is in a domestic, I know it. That kind of control, that kind of, no, nobody will like that. That's some stupid stuff. That's that domestic violence. I'm going to tell you, Harry hasn't been doing anything other than doing whatever she tells him to do. Oh, okay. So Harry don't want to go home. He don't miss his family. But here's the kicker. He let her put that stupid, and I can't get, about how the New York Times were wrong in saying that they got an invitation because they didn't get an invitation from the king. And they're trying to deflect from their failures in Kenya. Come on, guys. When she said that threw me out my seat. I know she said it because that's her MO. She does it all the time. She blames. First, she blames the New York Times. Then she blames their visit on that. But then she drew a negative towards it. Instead of being positive and saying something positive about it, she threw a dig in there and pretty much said, you're losing because you didn't do good in Kenya. What evil person would do that? I have no communication with you. You live way across the other side of the world. We don't talk on a regular basis. We're not even in communication with each other. But you continue to have something negative to say about me as if we are having a conversation. Somebody is upset with the royals. Yes, she wants an apology that she will never get. And yes, she wants to be relevant with the royals. She wants an apology so she can get back over there and wear them crowns and stuff. And that's something she will never do again. Because as soon as you became royalty, you gave it up. I'll never forget where I was when she said that. This is to the person that said that she was a royal. When you are royal, you're in. She said she wanted out, which said, I don't want to be royal anymore. That's what I heard on that piece of paper. That's what we all heard. They are stepping down. We are done. We're going to go live a private life, but we're going to continue to support. That's her still trying to hang on to the titles. That's her still trying to hang on to security. That's her still trying to have that connection. The tiaras and the robes I still want all the goodies. I want all the goodies. But I ain't going to be over here to do nothing for it. I want the UK people, the taxpayers, or whoever to pay for my security because I am the president of the United States. Now that I done married a prince. This girl is sick. But anyway, sometimes I take it too deep with and I probably had a point, but let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. Okay, I know that was a long introduction. Maybe I should put a timestamp. I'll put a timestamp on this at 22:15. And I'm just going to mark it in introduction, and then we'll get into if you guys care. Okay, let's get into it. Now, I agree and I disagree. I'm all over the place.
This week, the Duke of Sussex was told that a trial can now go ahead against the Daily Mail and the Mail on Sunday to look into claims that the papers unlawfully obtained information about him and other celebrities. Associated newspapers wanted to stop the case, and their argument was that claims of getting information by deception were out of time, and the publishers strongly denied the allegations as preposterous. However, the judge said a trial could go ahead. But that isn't Harry's only court battle, is it, Stephen?
Oh, no, certainly isn't. Prince Harry at the centre of 5 high-profile legal battles, with a whole host of celebrities actually joining him as he continues to wage war against the British tabloids. Well, Harry is joined...
5. Not 1, not 2, not 3. 5. It was 6. Now we got 5. Sorry, candy is delish. 5. Why he courting it? Why Harry is courting it? That is a word. I haven't made it up. Why Harry is courting it? Court and it. Why Harry is courting it? Meaning doing court stuff all over. William and Catherine is doing their thing, living, enjoying their kids, helping. Building their beautiful reputation, building their new, all is new with them. Everything. They're beloved by everybody. So while they over there doing that, living in harmony and love and peace and, tranquility, Harry is over here suing people, going to court. I'm surprised he hasn't aged. Let me know if you guys see aging on Harry, because usually stress does that. Like, what else? I wouldn't be able to handle all that. 5 court cases, and then I got my popularity sucks. Everybody hates my wife. I ain't talking to my family, and I don't know hers. And then every time I pick up a paper, we're being laughed at about South Park or somebody, and somebody saying something about us. Listen, this is when Harry light bulb should have came on. When several people came to you, Harry, and said that your wife was difficult, that there is something wrong with her, that she's a bully, that she's this and she's that. But you shut everybody down and said that they were messing with her. And so she did exactly what she got to do it quickly too. She was able to pimp you out real. That was a pimp move, what Megan did. Listen to the pimpness. Okay? She did it quickly. She was able to convince him that his family was against them, that his family was racist, and that William and Catherine wanted all the power. And King Charles and this and that. I missed it. Let me go back. She convinced him of all of that in a year and a half. And all his friends are gone. Convinced him to get on the Oprah show, write a book, and do all of this stuff. Continue. Because Harry wasn't doing any of this stuff. How did this one woman was able to convince you to do it all? Because she needed your stamp of approval. Because without it, you guys would have been divided and she would have had to go at it alone. And that would have meant that you would have stood by your family and we would have respected you and we would have realized that, Harry had a problem on his hand. Now it's going to be difficult to prove because you're running around continuing the trashing. 5 court cases because your Jezebel don't want to be talked about in the news. Well, she should have stayed a D-lister. We wasn't talking about her then. She should have stayed a D-lister. If she wanted to live a private life, which she doesn't, then she should have stayed a D-lister because there's nothing private about seeing her every day. We see her on a daily basis now, sometimes twice a day. And now it's just going to be like listen, I would not want people to, I don't care if that's my job. But imagine you seeing her every day in these sightings. These sightings are going to get, okay, yeah, she was out the other day. Who cares?
By 7 high-profile people, including Sir Elton John, in bringing legal action against the publisher of the Daily Mail. Now they, as Anne was saying, firmly
This is the same Daily Mail that Harry said that Meghan lost the baby because of the lawsuit against them. They got a whole backstory about how she lost the baby and how it was the Daily Mail's fault. That blame, there go that blame again. That wasn't no whine moment. That was a blame moment. I'm going to blame someone else for what happened in my house. I'm going to blame the Daily Mail for Meghan getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning, writing and talking about this case. Meghan wasn't stressing out on nothing. Meghan, I was stressing. She got them celebrities over there believing that Kool-Aid. They better get away from her. They're going to be markled. I'm telling you, the rogue has already told you you're going to be markled. She's going to slip up and say your name in a docuseries. Beyonce, Generational Curses. Ooh, would nobody believe this? You live here. This is what you ended up with, Meghan. That's Oprah talking about Meghan's house that the Queen gave her. I heard one of my subscribers told me that Meghan wanted to live in one of those castles. It was interesting. She asked the Queen to stay in Windsor or one of them castles. And I've been to one to visit. Said this. Why wouldn't she? Of course she's going to ask. Meghan doesn't have a problem begging.
Any allegations, including hiring private investigators to put listening devices in cars and accessing recordings of private phone calls, all that sort of thing. Now, Harry and the actor Hugh Grant, there he is, suing the publisher of The Sun and the now defunct News of the World over alleged phone hacking, which again...
So, To my understanding, Hugh Jackman is pissed off that the son hacked into him and told about his scandalous stuff that he was doing at night.
The publisher denies. Now, in a rare royal event, Harry was in a High Court witness box, wasn't he? You remember that? In the trial of his damages claim against the publisher of the Daily Mirror, the Sunday Mirror, and the Sunday People. The publisher denying hacking, and a verdict on that is expected pretty soon. But in July last year, Harry secured a judge's permission to pursue legal action against the Home Office, of all things. And that was over security arrangements for himself and, of course, his family when they're here in the UK.
Money.
Well, joining us now is reporter and journalist Sarah Louise Robertson.
I like
good
Sarah.
morning to you. There you are. Hello.
Morning to you.
Hi, Sarah.
Can you explain what has been happening up till now with Prince Harry and his various court cases?
Well, this is it. This is the pampered prince, the prince of privilege, as I call him, who's launched what I say is another fishing exercise into the British press. He's basically trying to see if he can sort of flush out any evidence, as he claims, of being hacked or having stories written about him, which he basically didn't like at the time. And we've seen with what happened with the Daily Mirror.
Yeah, when he was dating Chelsea like a billion years ago. That's the one he's talking about. And he had no proof. And the judge said, get out of here. Trying to be nice to him because he's the king's son. That's the only one thing I think of. Because the proof was in the pudding. There was nothing. He had no evidence, no nothing. They were just going off of his name. Harry, the prince, he said it. That must mean it was right. Yeah, Meghan said it, so that means it happened. Meghan said it happened on the Oprah show, so that means it happened. Meghan said it on the docuseries, so that means it happened. In the book, everything that they said is true.
Phone hacking case earlier in summer, that actually it was just based on feelings and there was no facts whatsoever. And during the 3 hours of testimony in which Harry went into court and spoke, that actually he absolutely gave no evidence whatsoever in the Daily Mirror case of anything to sort of substantiate his allegations against them into phone hacking. He even admitted in that court case that he wanted to flush out evidence in court. So he actually didn't have any evidence.
Well, he said the reason why he was doing it was because of Meghan. He did. He said that. He said the reason why I came to court is because of the new stuff that's happening to my wife. And he's trying to protect her. That was his last statement. Which told me he keeps doing things for her. Keep doing it.
And during that appearance,
Sorry,
it was laughable, really, because he said, I don't know, no fewer than 18 times, because he didn't remember 9 times. And then he bounced questions back to his very, very, very expensive barrister, who also happens to be Elton John's very, very, very expensive barrister. Obviously, he's very close friends with Elton John. So Elton John,
are they still friends?
So he did that 4 times. So it's just so interesting that he's even willing to put himself through all that humiliation again. But he is, and it really does stick, Anne, because as I say, this is a man who is living in great privilege, who is in self-imposed exile, and he's not living in a rough and tumble place.
She says self-imposed exile. Okay. What does that mean? Now, I'm going to pretend like I know. But what she's saying is he's out there in exile by himself doing crazy stuff with this woman. He didn't exile himself from his family. He's isolated. He has separated himself from his safety zone. When all else is over, when the woman leaves you, when the man leaves you, who do you have to rely on? Your family. But if someone has came along and allowed you to kick your family to the curb, what's going to happen when she kick you to the curb? She was strategic in doing that, and she did that on purpose so she could have the control. Because she knew as long as he was listening to the queen, Philip, and Harry, that Meghan knew that if she was as long as he was listening to them, she didn't have full control to do what she wanted. So she slowly picked away at him and convinced him that his family was this big bad wolf. And so, and I know I keep saying that, but it's important. And so she isolated him from the very thing that could help him through every and anything. But not only did she isolate him by cutting him off, she also poured salt on the wound by the racism and all of that. Harry, we're going to go in on your family. I don't know. I know it was her idea, but he went along with it because she was the freaking damsel in distress. Now she's over here in Hollywood with her saved friends and came to save her. All the celebrities, Tyler Perry, that money was sounding good to her when Oprah said, listen, I'll give you a donation. Because Meghan was like, no, I want some money. No, you got used, Oprah. And still are. Being connected to Meghan is not a good look. That's not a popularity up boost in your popularity. No, and I don't know if her hanging out with Gwyneth and them is the boost in her popularity either. There was something else I wanted to say, but
he's living in California, the state of California, which has a better performing economy than the whole of the United Kingdom. So it's not like he's doing badly. And there he is with his A-list friends. And he's just very woke. It's all about his woke politics.
No, that's his family. Them A-listers that Harry and Meghan are hanging out with, that is their new family. They hang out with these new family members because they don't have any more family members. Listen, Tyler Perry is the father and Oprah's the mother. Well, in a sense, that's their family. He's the goddad. He's doing stuff. Harry has given up his part of the dynasty. I would have looked at her and said, girl, if you don't get out of my house talking this stupid stuff, coming to me, this is what we're going to do. We're going to leave here, Harry. I'm going to rescue you. Harry didn't need rescuing. He needed now he needs rescuing from you. Because probably nothing is compared to what... Oh, okay, Harry. Harry's having such a wonderful time in California. It's just going peachy keen. That's what they want us to believe. Because they're going to the concerts and all these other fun little to-dos. No. Harry at that concert thinking about his family, no, because that's all they were about. You come from a family that's all about family, and then you leave it. No, Harry's miserable and depressed. I don't think he's having a good time in his new surroundings, because money ain't everything. You can have it all and be miserable and depressed. And Meghan is all about Meghan, making it big and getting to the top, pushing homeboy to the side and saying, I'm running this. Meghan's running this show. Okay? If you haven't noticed it by now, catch it. Because Harry is not making these decisions. Not well. I believe he's a little bit, but in other words, maybe he's just full blown in it, but you can't tell me that he came up with this plan.
About appeasing his woke friends. And as I say, he just wants to have a go at the press. It's all about feelings. It's not about facts with Harry. And he has become something of a puppet as well for this activist group Hacked Off, which is run by another A-list friend, Hugh Grant of all people, who's had it in for the press since he was caught seeing a prostitute all those years ago by the news of the world and has never got over it. The fact that he was outed in the way.
He never got over the fact that they came out and said, listen, you know you was out here with this prostitute, you Grant. Okay? I'm just saying. He pissed off because of that. He's still holding on. Listen, you got to let go. I'm learning some stuff. When I bought this house and stuff, there was some stuff was promised to me. I didn't get it. And you just got to let it go. You do. You got to make those decisions on what you're going to tie your time into. And you, Grant, you're going to spend your time going after them. And then what? Find out that it didn't really happen? And maybe it did. But the facts still remain. You were still with the prostitute. Why you pissed off at the Sun? Because they exposed it? Nope. You can't be famous and then hide around the corner doing dirty stuff that you don't want people to know.
So Harry's almost become their puppet and their figurehead for all these rich A-listers who don't want anything ever written about them at all in the press. That might be...
No, this is a threat to our media. If they win this, then people got to be careful on what they say. So the Sun and everything need to get their facts straight and get their stuff straight to make sure that they didn't do anything wrong to these criminals. I'm gonna say it again. These criminals. You Jack, you Guy, and Harry, and now Elton John. They all criminals. Elton John is a criminal for hanging out with Harry. And Harry's a criminal for treating his family this way. He's a traitor. So they're all criminals.
Inconvenient, or they might not like.
Joking.
I tell you what though, Sarah, look, they may be well off. Maybe there's an element of woke about it all and all the rest of it.
I don't get
but
woke.
doesn't
I don't
mean
understand what woke is. I hate these new synonyms and new names. And I can be one of them people. I don't want to be them people. I want to be me. I don't want to be woke. I don't want to be left, far left. I just believe in what I believe in. And it's okay if we don't agree. It's okay. Here's the deal. It's okay if you're a Republican. It's okay if I'm a Democrat. It's okay. We can still be friends. But we probably won't agree when it comes to politics. And some of you probably don't agree when I throw that in there every now and then. But I have to because I live it. Every day, something is going on over here in the United States. Trump is on trial. I have never seen that ever before in my life. This is history making. How dare you not say anything? Hello? Did you guys hear about Donald Trump being on the stand? And not just the stand, his son? Both of them? And Ivanka? She looked good too. She walked in there looking good and beautiful. You go, Ivanka. Let me give her props. And said, I don't know what y'all talking about. I don't know nothing about this stuff. But I can say this. The heat is on. I know he's feeling it. He wasn't at the debate the other day. I do believe that he needs to get to these debates. Not that I'm trying to throw him a bone or anything like that. What I'm saying is that, if you're you debate these people, you're gonna have to get there by all means necessary and insult them like you normally do, or whatever you want to say. They got you in there before. But if he doesn't show and he doesn't show up and do what he's gonna do, his audience he's still running. People gonna be thinking that. I'm just saying, moving on. I know that meant nothing. I wish I could warn you before I say it, but I can't. If you hear it, then bleep it off. I'm going back to subject now.
Entitled to some level of protection that they're not entitled not to have their phone hacked or their bins rifled through or anything else.
Well, yes, of course. There was practices done many years ago, which
He's trying to say, wait a minute now, this could have happened to them, and this, they probably was hacking and doing this and stuff. And she said this was 1,000, 1,000,000,000 years ago. Ain't no telling what they was doing back then. They probably was bugging your car. But this is interesting that there should be a statute of limitations on this sucker, and let's move on. Because like I said, you got 3 or 4 criminals running around here talking about they was doing something to me. No, you were doing something to us. You were doing stuff and you were hiding it. Then we found out, and now you're mad about it. Look.
aren't, that not adhere to this day. But what I'm trying to say is there's a difference between that and press intrusion. And really, what Harry's trying to do is he just wants to shut down the press altogether. He wants a completely positive press where nothing is ever written.
Let's just be honest. He wants it shut down. He's never been under this kind of scrutiny, and he's getting it. Him and his little traitor tramp. She's getting it too. And even if you try to shut it down, we still feel that way. You're still going to go, your reputation is still going to keep going down. You're still not going to ever, it's been over. The verdict is out. I don't care what charity thing they do. I don't care if they fly across the moon butt naked and be like, yeah, we're the first people to do it. No. There's nothing she can say or do that will bring her reputation back today. It's going to take a long time. You know how Camilla brought hers back? It's going to take longer than that.
About it, that could be in any way negative. This is I say.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Since Harry's saying it, yes, she has a right to fight for her reputation. It's dead. She's running around with the king. Now, Queen Camilla needed to fix her reputation. And however she was supposed to fix it. And I don't believe what they said, how she fixed it, but I believe she needed to prove something, and she has. Unlike these two running around here trying to get people to shut up about them because they don't want people to know the truth. Too bad, too sad. And freedom of speech says that we can talk about this, right? And say it how we see it. Long as, I got to make sure.
About feelings and not facts. That's the way he wants to go. And if he starts getting his own way, he's got this royal bee in his bonnet that he wants to do. And if he starts getting his own way, who knows where it's going to lead? Because a story that he thinks is inconvenient to him, he doesn't want to see out there. And this is where we're going with this. And as I say, he's become this sort of puppet head, this sort of figurehead for this group hacked off.
Yeah, but there's
status.
But there's forgive me, Sarah, but there's no way with this, you can't stop things being written about you that are negative if they're true. But it's about stuff being written that's negative that is not true. And that would be a problem for any of us.
Yes, but look, that's you can't. You're splitting hairs there, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
There's always
Yes,
truth to everything that's written. There's always truth.
I
to
like
everything.
when she said this. She said, "There's always truth to what has been written, especially when you are reading those that have reputable reputations for putting it out there." Mm-hmm. And I agree with her. And like she said, you're splitting hairs. So you want to say you Grant was with a prostitute, but they were friends first? What? How do you want to change the story? The story is what it is. You can't change the fact that he was and it was true. So whether they hacked in or not, they found out. And we did too. And here's the thing. You can't hide.
That's written, and there's a big difference with what Harry's doing. That's what I'm trying to say. And it's just about his privilege. And I think the British people have got more sense and they can see what's going on here, reading between the lines. Also, remember as well with Prince Harry about intrusion into people's lives. Well, look what he's done with his book Spare. Did his father, the king, and his wife, Queen Camilla, did they ask for that intrusion that Harry brought into their lives when he went on Oprah Winfrey?
Hey, Judge, check this out. Harry's on the stand whining about his privacy and his intrusion and doing all this stuff to him. But it's okay for him to take something that he did in private with his brother or sister-in-law or with his family, that it's okay that he writes about it in a book that refers to someone else as if they've given him permission to do that, and then it's disparaging, trying to talk about them in such a way that others will, be upset with it. He hit me. Harry sounded like a sore loser. When talking about his brother, he sounded like a sore loser. No, you probably needed a pick up the head. Hey, get it together, brother. Snap out of it. This woman has taken you and flipped you up and turned you upside down, and you have lost it.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have experienced.
Sorry about that.
There's always truth to everything that's written. There's always truth to everything that's written, and there's a big difference with what Harry's doing. That's what I'm trying to say, and it's just about his privilege. And I think the British people have got more sense, and they can see what's going on here, reading between the lines. Also, remember as well with Prince Harry, he's going on about intrusion into people's lives. Well, look what he's done with his book Spare. Did his father, the king, and his wife, Queen Camilla, did they ask for that intrusion?
Oh, it doesn't count with them. It's okay for them because they were telling their truth. It's okay because Meghan was talking about what happened to her, so she could use Catherine as an example, like she did the Wadey Katie. And I can just trash Samantha. Samantha, I hope you went in there talking slick and whatever, getting it done. I heard that the judge was, we need to have a trial. We need to do this thing. God. And unfortunately, she's probably not going to be able to do this, but I would be trying to submit record about my father. Here's the deal. Meghan, Samantha, your father doesn't have to sue her, but you can definitely tell the court how she's been treating your father and all of you, because it wasn't just you. And she should be able to submit that in court to show a pattern of her behavior. I don't know, I'm not a lawyer. I wanted to be though. But when I heard that I was going to have to defend people that I didn't want to defend, because you got to do that first or something stupid, but I didn't think it would be that bad. You know what? Hey, I still might. It's because I always said, and I keep deterring from that plan, I would love to be a lawyer, but, I would have to be like a corporate lawyer or a real estate lawyer, because that's where the money is. Okay, get back.
Harry brought into their lives when he went on Oprah Winfrey, introduced the royal family in the way that he did, and introduced his father and his stepmother, Camilla, in his autobiography. No, they didn't ask for that. So this is what I'm saying. There's hypocrisy from Harry. It's do as I say, not say as I do. He feels
Camilla was minding her own business. He put her in a book talking about her popularity and how she did this and she did that, how she was the other woman and stuff like that. That's that stupid stuff. It was. And then he threw in him and Meghan's relationship like it was some love story. I'm yet to fall in love with this couple's love. I am yet to fall in love with this couple's love. It's not genuine. I don't see it. I never saw it in the beginning. She was hanging on him like a leaf hanging on him. He's the tree and she's the leaf hanging on, and he should have let her blown in the wind. Let go. But since he didn't, I mean, of all the women he wouldn't got, this is what he ended up with. But is any of you guys, here's the question to all my UK subscribers. Are you surprised he would pick somebody like this with his past? Maybe that's it. Maybe this is what I never saw it. I would think that he would have got someone like his mother, not a fake one. She wishes, Megan wish. That's why she portrays that. That's why she does all that Diana stuff and tries to, almost be Diana for Harry. She does that because she wants us to treat her like people treated Diana and love her. And not just that, Megan almost wants to be her. Yeah, you probably would because your reputation sucks. But I just think it's just stupid. I forgot what I was going to say. She uses his mother for some reason, and it just doesn't look. And I don't know if it's so much I don't think it's to get him to do things, and she tries to, mess with his weaknesses. No, I think she's just dominant and is going to tell him exactly what she's taking control. I saw that on the docuseries when she was talking to him and the way she was talking to him on the docuseries. It was a very dismissive, nasty kind of an attitude kind of way, like, I don't care, like, you deal with it. And I know I switched it, so let's move to the switch. When she was on the docuseries and they got a text from William, and Harry shows Megan the text from William, and then Megan gets up, and I could have the story wrong, but this is the part I don't get wrong, is she gets up and she says, you deal with it. It's your brother. It's you deal with it. I was like, oh, okay. That's telling a story. The way, like, I'm not dealing with that. You deal with that. It's your brother. But you are the reason why he's going through. You're the reason why he got that text. It's you, Megan. But you don't want to deal with it. I ain't going to talk about that part. The part I want to talk about is the way she treated Harry when his brother texted her. And if she was showing him, she was dismissive of him. She was rude to him. And like, I don't want to deal with it. Forget it. I'm one of those I'm leaving you moments. If you don't handle this, Harry, I'm going to leave you. And you can't tell me she didn't threaten him all through the relationship, all through the marriage, and even today. And that's why he got sick of it. Like Lady C kind of hinted and said that he has been talking to divorce lawyers to figure out what his rights are. Because at some point, you can't continue to be treated like he's been being treated by her. He's in a domestic abuse relationship. And you don't have to have bruises. You can be he's in a mental bad situation where she's conniving. Who hasn't she manipulated? Who hasn't she conned that hasn't been like, okay? And the bigger she get, the better she get at conning. She conned Oprah right out of that stupid interview. She the one's hiding the interview. That's how I know Oprah's embarrassed and shamed of letting Megan do that. She wish she could bury that interview. She wish it never happened. She probably wish she had never gotten contact with her. I would. Look at Spotify. They still having nightmares. You can't tell me they are still not trying to figure out how they're going to recover from that. And Netflix is pretending because they think they're the bigger giant here. Oh, they're doing good over here. We're going to pay them their money.
To say and do what he
Sorry,
likes
I
when
took
he
it there.
chooses. But when it comes to anyone else saying anything about him that might not be 100% positive or glowing, then we're straight there, get a barrister. Anyway, it'll all just be thrown out of court, the same it was with what went on
Yeah, it's
with
going to be
Mirror.
thrown out of court,
And
she
I'm
said.
amazed he's actually putting himself through it again. but he
You
is.
know, and sometimes like Elton John and Hugh Grant, and if I'm saying his name correct, and them two just trying to make a point that, he was so embarrassed by the prostitute, he's still trying to clear his name. As if we're gonna give a dang that he's clearing his name over something that happened years ago that he actually did. And so what happens is it brings back up the prostitution situation. And now we're looking at you like you still whining about something that happened 10, 30 years ago that we buried in the ground. I don't think of that when I see him. I don't think of that. I'm like, okay, he had a moment, but he did it, and you move on. No, 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 no. Now he wants to bring attention back to his situation. So now he wants to remind us that he was out there with a prostitute. I'm just saying.
Okay, Sarah Robertson, got to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed.
I'm ending it,
Say,
guys.
that's Sarah's point of view, and you may well agree with it. I think there's...
I agree with her.
The sort of hypocrisy arguments and all the rest of it. However, there is a substantial difference between, recounting your thoughts about something about another family member compared to someone intruding into your privacy.
Okay, right there. I want you guys to tell me what you think about that statement he just made. He's trying to draw parallels to how it's okay for Harry and Meghan to talk about something that happened within what happened to them, okay, opposed to the media intruding on Harry and them for a story. It's all the same. In my book, you can't apples and oranges. That's that stupid stuff. That's that stupid stuff. Because if neither side gave permission, then why are you talking about it? Especially if if you're giving your account to it and no one's giving their second side. No. Harry and Meghan went in, and they don't even talk about Oprah and the rest of it. She did say he did go on the Oprah show. I think she said this. I may have missed it, eating candy, about the racism, because that's gonna always come up in conversation. No, they did what they did, but it's okay. You can't split that. You can't say it's okay to do it on this level and you can't do it on that level. Neither one should be done. Just put it out there like that. But it's okay for privileged Harry to do it and privileged Meghan because they think they got all this on their side. Well, they do. They may have something because people go hard on them. Me included. But it's the behavior. My sister said, their behavior. I said, it's their behavior. They behave like kids. But he's saying it's different.
Between, recounting your thoughts about something.
Recanting your thoughts. That to me is watering down what they did. That's playing into Meghan and Harry's narrative that it was okay for them to do what they did. It was okay for them to tell their truth. It was okay to tell their story. But no one's retracting it or challenging it. But most of us are. But I'm saying the family isn't. They just have to take it. They just got to deal with what Harry and Meghan has said and just move on with life. Imagine you can't say, only thing you can say is, no, we are very not racist. Wouldn't you want to get in that? But I'm sure they did on the behind the scenes side. But no, Meghan wants everybody to know what's going on. And the only thing that's going on is that she keeps talking to them. And they probably want her to shut up, stop talking to us, especially through the media, because we have nothing to say to you. There you go again, trying to be relevant and trying to make a point that has nothing to do with nothing. Trying to make a point about how they didn't invite me. They didn't invite me to the party. And they're just trying to deflect from what? From being great? for triumphing and being, these great royals by making them center stage, Megan. Every time you open your mouth, everybody wants to see what the real royals are doing. I do. Yeah, okay, let me close this. I'm closing.
Member compared to someone intruding into your privacy.
And it's not just about privacy, it's about the means by which they obtained any information. And so if they've hacked phones, that's an illegal act.
That is not an excuse for Harry to do what he did. I'm sorry. I don't care. Illegal, legally. So since Harry did it legally, it was okay? That's what they're saying. Since Harry did it legally and intruded on his family's privacy, it's okay because he did it legally. That ain't legally. He just did it because he wanted to do it. And he had no consequences behind that other than us. Other than the people that read it and have to endure it. Listen to them lies. Them lies. I don't believe nothing they say. I swear, I don't. It's just none of it. When you start lying on a consistent basis for no reason other than to boost yourself up and to make yourself look better than the other person or whatever the case may be, and to discourage others from trying to like those that you have thrown out. Don't hang out with Jessica Maloney. Don't hang out with my father. Don't interview him. Defame them all together. Megan's sister could have made a little bit of money on the side to help her father with bills. But no, Megan was going to make sure that she's going to trash him. They're trash. And I've thrown them away. But she cares about veterans. No. You're going to have to break through my brain and reprogram it to make me understand how what she does on a daily basis is okay. And how we should sweep her lies up under the rug and keep moving. Oh, and support her and say good things in the press about her. Because if you don't, Harry's coming for you and he's going to sue you. South Park and all of them. They are open sesame over here. And it's just going to keep coming.
And if whether you like...
Maybe tomorrow, Saturday Night Live might have Megan up. I'll do it Saturday Night Live. Have Megan and Harry at the Navy SEAL thing, her pushing him around. There's a storyline, Saturday Night Live. Reinvent the scene where Megan was pushing on Harry. Because that is the new talk.
Not whether you think he's woke or not, whether you think he's hypocritical or not, is actually beside the point when it
No,
comes
it's not
to
beside the
enforcing the
point.
law of the land. But maybe it will all be thrown out, as Sarah says.
Yeah, but it hasn't been thus far. That's the point. Is yesterday the judge decided that there was enough of a case to go to trial.
No, you guys are just trying to hang on to whatever. But the truth of the matter is that Harry is wrong, but the law doesn't apply to him and things don't apply to him. I'll fly on a jet, but don't you fly on it, okay? I can talk about my family, but don't you do it. Don't you talk about us. I can leak stories about you, but you can't leak stuff about us. I'm going to put out a statement that's going to discourage everybody, but don't you do it. It's just unbelievable. I don't even think it's entitlement. I think it's what the tutor said. She's a narcissistic person, but for some reason, all the time, she thinks she's the only person in the room. She's the only person in the room that matters the most. Not her husband, her. She wants people to come see her, not Invictus. She wants people to come see her, not the mental health people, because she didn't let them talk. None of them. I didn't hear no one say anything. Every time you see the royals, you see Catherine sitting on the ground listening to the stories. Not Megan. Megan's gonna wear something costing $20,000 and $30,000 and looking like, oh yeah, I'm just here for the photo. I'm not here to really actually work and put in any work. Like they said, she never wanted to work as a working royal. She couldn't believe she wasn't getting a check afterwards, but she was getting paid. Your husband was taking care of you, and your husband's father was taking care of you, but you didn't see that. No, Megan didn't have enough control either. She didn't have enough control. I could see that. Like, I want control. And that probably could have been arranged, but Megan was never going to be in. That's us again, me thinking outside the box that she's some regular person that was ever going to stay over there. But what she needs a team of people to help her. She does. She needs someone to help her on the family side. She needs a spokesperson to speak for her and her not to them. She needs to revamp, regroup, and WME, you've been fired. Kisses to all of you. I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful Saturday, a wonderful Sunday. I miss you guys. I love hanging out with you. Don't forget to hit like, share, and comment. And thank you for all the views and everything. I love each and every one of you. Please come back and spend some time with me.